So there's another really cool thing you can do in Google Analytics, and it has to do with your audience. So there's an audience tab over here. Oops. You can see the overview. There's a map that shows up when you actually have more data, but it will show you the geolocation of those who have visited your website or followed through on links or any number of things like that. This is just a general overview. You also have a list of active users. You can add different segments, so you can show all users. Converters, direct traffic, those are people who directly go to your website by looking for your website instead of being linked to it. People who come back over multiple sessions. I'm going to activate that one just to see if someone shows up. Okay, no. Well, that would have been interesting. These two are in beta, so I'm not super familiar with them. We have audiences, demographics, and interest reports, which I'm going to enable. It can show you demographics data, how many people in the 18 to 24 range, etc. If it loads, there it is. You've got User Explorer. This just will show you an ID, number of sessions, average duration of each session, the bounce rate, which I believe, yes, basically that could be anything from they closed out before it loaded to their internet service provider didn't let them get there, any number of reasons. The amount of revenue, number of transactions, and how many reached the goal from the last part of the video. Then you can look here through some different categorizations. So you have a demographics overview. You can see who in age and gender. You can look at each one specifically. Number of users, type of behavior. How many of them are going through e-commerce? How many of them went through the goal that we set up earlier? Also organized by interests. You can also check out by language, how many English speakers, how many Spanish speakers, etc. And again, I don't have any data for this to be showing anything interesting, so it's just straight lines and zeros all across. That's fine. But you can select. Oh, that's wrong. There we go. Also do it by location. It'll color in the areas. You can look at each one a little bit closer, especially the United States, since we've got 50 little jurisdictions. You can zoom in and see how many Californians like your posts and are buying there. That can help you with shipping cost prediction for the future as well. You also have behavior. You can see how many users are new versus returning, how many times they visit and how recently they visited, and what kind of engagement they're actually engaging in as well. Then you can also check out the technology tab, and you can see the users as it's broken down by their browser and operating system, and also their internet service provider network. And you can see how people viewing your website or your links on mobile are interacting with your website and what the data set there is, and what kinds of devices they're using. This is all information, I believe, that comes from cookies that are gathered. when you log into a place. You always get those messages. This site uses cookies. Is that okay? This is basically what that information is used for. And then you can also use custom variables. So if there's something that you want to observe that isn't covered by the previous categorizations, then you can make that up and see how your website fares when you're looking at it through that particular lens. Then you can also check out benchmarking and compare the averages of different types of industry verticals. Basically, if you wanted to compare your website's traffic compared to the average number of users and interaction and all that for somebody in the arts and entertainment industry, for instance, you could do that. Normally, this is used so that you can compare it to others in your own industry as well. So for this, I believe I set it as business and industrial. So we're just going to go with business operations, and it's close enough. And again, no data to compare it to, so everything shows as zeros or 100% negatives. That's okay. I'm just showing you how this works. So on this line, you've got benchmark sessions, and the darker blue is going to be sessions on your website. So if there was data, you would see contrasting data or matching data depending on how closely we fit the benchmark data. You can also do this according to locations. You can see how business operations websites on average perform in different countries and how well it's performing in your website is performing in those same countries. And then you can do the same with devices here. Now we've got users flow, and you can add a whole bunch of stuff in here, referral traffic and sessions with conversions, so sales made, sessions with transactions, tablet and desktop traffic. We'll just add that one as well for fun. And normally, if you'd click and again, since there's no data for it to work with, this looks very blank. But if there was, then you would be able to So now you've got users flow. You can set it up to see the different kinds of demographics and interests and geotagging and behavior and all the other kind of categorizations from your audience in section in general. And when you have data, you'll see several blocks, and they'll go from left to right and show you the number of people that come to your website. And it'll be a little bit similar to the funnel tracking from the other section of the website under conversions, but you can broaden it out to more than just those goals that you set in the other section. So you can see how many go from this page and then where they go next. It'll tell you where those people go next. By percentage and by number as well. And then it'll also show you how many get bounced or how many leave. And that way you can tell which parts of the website are scaring people off, or at the very least making them realize they don't want to do business with you. And you can focus your energy on fixing the pages that don't work. So that is a overview of the Google Analytics audience feature. It is a very powerful tool that you can use to streamline the energy you expend in marketing and in website design and in copy. I can't really overestimate how useful it is.